into it. Your life is big. Your life is huge. And we spend so much time wanting to be in somebody else's life. And you don't get honored, you don't get revered, you don't get celebrating wanting what somebody else has.
Thanks for dropping through. You know I got the love out here for you, motivation, at least.
Because that which created you, divine intelligence that dreamed you from before your ancestors ever knew they would become your ancestors, that which dreamed the seed of you, wants you to know how special, how wondrous, how mysterious, how complex, how glorious, how phenomenal you are. And you get no credit messing in somebody else's territory.
Hey,
or
what's good,
trying
Nia?
to have
what time it is.
Power over something you have no control. Another one of my favorite teachings is The Wizard of Oz. When the Wicked Witch of the West says, go away from here because you don't have any power here, you have no power in any territory other than your own. Oh, but you are the master of that. You get to be the master of your own fate. You get to be the captain of your own soul. And if you just manage that, if you just took care of your territory, oh, the glorious, 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 wondrous, wondrous opportunities and possibilities that are waiting for you. So the question is, what are you resisting? What are you pushing against? What are you not allowing? What are you blocking because you have this idea of who and what you're supposed to be, instead of leaning into the dream that's already been created and waiting for you? It's waiting for you. And the second, it's an instant thing. It's a shift in the way you see yourself and the power from which you have come.
If English isn't your first language like me, and you want your writing to reflect your voice,
come on,
consider trying Grammarly Pro today to elevate your skills. Grammarly Pro can help translate my primary language flawlessly and does it right when I'm writing.
Y'all know we love the commercials, but not when they interrupt the message.
I went through some tough times after I left the Oprah show. I made a conscious decision that when I felt I had said all that I could say and the audience had heard it, that I would move on and that I would not spend my life regretting or trying to hold on to what used to be or hold on to what I had. So I dreamed this dream of starting a network. And in the beginning, it was a struggle. It was a struggle because honest to goodness, I did not know what I was doing. I was trying to figure it out. I thought that the Oprah show audience would follow us to OWN, and then I realized y'all didn't have cable. And if you had cable, you did not have the OWN package. So it took me a minute. And unlike most people who you get to have your mistakes in private, some don't go right in your life, you get to sulk about it in private. If I make a mistake, it's on the CNN crawl or the CNN news. So when I was in the climb and there were so many wonderful owners, I see Churl Action Jackson here. There were so many wonderful owners, people who said, oh, we're gonna stand with you. We're gonna stand by you. Thank you, Roland Martin. There were so many people who said, listen, we believe that this can happen. So I dreamed the dream along with Tyler Perry, who was my friend, who came to me and said, Tyler said, I'm gonna help you out, because Tyler can go home and write a script and direct it, produce it, and shoot it, and do it for less money than anybody in Hollywood. So we started with the foundation of have and have nots. If loving you is wrong, love thy neighbor, Mama Hattie. And then I started to dream another dream about scripted television, because in the beginning I was told you couldn't do it. You couldn't do it, didn't have enough money to do it. and
hey, Stacy, I appreciate the likes out there too.
I read Proverbs 11:28 that says, those who trust in their riches will fall, but the righteous will rise and thrive like a green leaf.
All right. Now, look, I'm glad we always start with the motivation, because if we was to, let's say we went straight into the message, right? We'd be like, hey, welcome to the Expansion Pack, and message. Then you wouldn't be primed. It's like going outside and pushing the gas pedal on your car, and you ain't start your car. You feel what I'm saying? You can push the brake, it'll stop, but it's already stopped. But pushing the gas ain't gonna do nothing. We gotta get this in so we can go, baby. Hold on. All right, so now growing old. We're gonna do this for just a second, and then we'll get off before the copyright. Here we go. You guys should enjoy this. I give you about 3 seconds of it.
Days when I was young, I'm not a kid anymore. But some days I sit and wish I was a kid again. Back in the days when I was just a little nigga, I looked up to my bigger bro, begged if I could kick it. So when he went out with girls, I could go tagging along, nagging. If she had a sis, maybe could mac a baby hood rat. Y'all remember way back then when it was 1985, all the way live. I think I was about 10. One of those happy little niggas singing the blues that be always trying to bag with the shag and karate shit, saying yo mama black, his mama this, his mama that. Then he get mad and wanna scrap. We stay mad about 10 minutes, then it's like back on the bike to play hide and go get it with the younger hoes by the bungalows. Then switch to playing ding dong ditch when that gets old and too cold.
You already know, Stacey.
Grew on a bomber jacket. You could tell the ballers cause they fell wearing gazelles. If they really had money raised, we sport Nikes. And all the girls had they Turkish link. If it broke, then they made earrings to it, like they meant to do it. But sometimes I still sit and reminisce, then think about the years I was raised back in the day.
So everybody got their memories, and here on Expansion Pack we say a lot of stuff, but the main thing is find your root so you can grow. I played that because the topic is growing old, and in order to see where you came from, to see where you at, you got to see where you came from. So let's look at what it means to be growing and growing old. Are we just getting taller? We just getting bigger, fatter, whatever? What we doing? All right, so what it means to grow old. Oh, grow up. Let's see what's up. All right, hold on. We got 2 different options. We're going to go with both of them. We're going to see the School of Life. The School of Life always got it.
Our societies are attached to a phrase which it can be a bit too easy to assume we understand. The talk is of people growing and of having grown, which alludes to some kind of important psychological evolution and development. But what does growing in this sense really involve? What is it that we are developing a capacity to do when we so-called grow? And what are we leaving behind? And crucially, how might we train ourselves to grow a little more and a little more quickly? What we may essentially be pointing to with the idea of growth is the ability to stop responding to situations in the present through lenses unconsciously distorted by our psychological histories, and especially the quirks and biases bequeathed to us by our invariably somewhat complicated childhoods.
Hey, welcome to another episode of Expansion Pack. I'm your host, Dan F. Man. It's good to be in here, This is DGTA TV. All right, so we back again. I seen y'all yesterday. And now we back again here today. See, I got my white bandana on. Now we in the game. Expansion pack, baby. All right. So, Healthy Mental Thursdays, as usual. Today we are we're going to find the fruit of our mind. The fruit of our mind. I got to share this with one more person real quick. Not just you, but I'm going to do that while we get this motivation started for y'all real quick. Let me get all my boxes checked right. All right, I got the right day of the week, but let me take this off now and put, I ain't even got one of my boxes up for y'all. Excuse me, y'all can see this little bleep screen for 2 seconds while I open up the new browser and get y'all some motivation for the day. I hope everybody doing great, or at least as good as they can do, and then they walk into their greatness for the day. I want to be able to share this with at least one more person. All right, motivation for love. Well, relationships. That's what we doing on Thursdays. It was love, but relationships, really. All right, so I want one we ain't heard, so we're gonna scroll. Yeah, I'm gonna go with my man's. Nah, hold on, wait. I only went there because it was short. Well, we seen this one though. Hold on. All right, I found it for us. Here we go. Let me get it in there. All right, so y'all can't see it over there, but now you can. Bling. Let's go. All right, let's get right. Got all my boxes right. Nope, still didn't get this box right. Boom, there you go over there. And there you go over there. Let's go.
So you gotta go 120, right? Everybody gonna be trying to give 100. So you gotta go 120, right? When I tell you motivation is life, when I tell you that I need you to, next 100 days, I need you to stay plugged in, right? Because the days you're not plugged in, the days you don't get 120. Everybody gonna be trying to give 100.
All right, there you go.
So you gotta go 120, right? When I tell you motivation is life, when I tell you that I need you to, next 100 days, I need you to stay plugged in, right? Because the days you're not plugged in are the days you don't get 120.
That's what's up, Stacy. Yes, ma'am.
So ferocious, it'll kill a lion. But I can kill an alligator with my bare hands.
You gonna motivate me, we gonna bounce. Hey,
they say
look.
You wanna kill an alligator?
You motivate me, I motivate you. We gonna bounce that energy back and forth, and when we need it, we gonna use it. You feel what I'm saying? And we build it up again.
You kill it
So
right
it's always
after
there
it
for
eats.
somebody, and always
right
there
after
for
it
somebody
eats,
else. It's always
you
there
get
for us.
satisfied. And it goes to a state like it's almost paralyzed. Some of y'all in this room, are you paralyzed? You had a little success? You've done what nobody else in your family has done, and now you chilling? Come on, you ain't hungry no more? Next 100, I need you to stay focused. Why? You should still be hungry. What have you eaten that's got you satisfied? What have you done? What have you accomplished that got you so full? I'm a contender, but the next 100 gonna change my life. It's gonna change this world. We're ordinary people doing extraordinary things. If that's you and you feeling me, just say I can. Come on, I can. I can. Come on, one time.
Yes, sir, I can.
I will.
I will.
I must. All right, come on. I
must.
want to put some context into it. I want to put some context. They sent my mother-in-law home 8 years ago. The cancer metastasized throughout her whole body. They're like, it ain't nothing we can do for you. Go home, spend time with your family. And people was like, yep, that's it for her. She said, it's not it for me. And they said, what do you mean it's not over for you? The doctor said, she said, I don't care nothing about a doctor. I got to see my grandson graduate from high school. He's a junior now at Michigan State University. She said, I gotta see my granddaughter graduate. And my only 2 grandkids. I gotta see my granddaughter graduate from high school, and she graduates in June. She said, after that, I might die. But up until then, I ain't going nowhere. Are you hearing what I'm telling you? And what we said to each other is, I can get through this. I will get through this. I must get through this. So I just need you to think about 3 people in your family that you love. 3 people. 3 people that you love. 3 people. You got them? They there? You got them? This is what I need you to do for me. Because some of you have a hard time staying motivated for a straight 100 days. So what I need you to do for me is I need you to think about those people every day when you're doing what you're doing. Do you have some days when you just want to hit the snooze button? Raise your hand for me. You want to hit the snooze button, right? So watch this. This is what has to happen. That person that you think about has to be louder than the snooze button. So when you think about Granny, you got to think about, do I hit the snooze button or do I get up and make it happen for Granny? Are you hearing what I'm saying? Who are you doing this for? So the days you don't feel like getting up, just think about them. Somebody tell me in this room, when you think about your siblings, when you think about mom and dad and grandma, when you think about your uncle and aunts, when you think about those coaches, those people who've been there for you, just raise your hand if you say, E.T., sleep is better than that. Just raise your hand and tell me, anybody in the room, sleep is better than them, E? Just raise your hand, somebody tell me, E.T., you don't get it, you don't know how hard it is, E? I probably don't. I just lived in abandoned buildings, AI trash cans, I probably don't. Maybe I ain't never been through what you've been through, but I've been through my go-through. And you don't get here by quitting when you tired. You get here by quitting when you finish, when you done. You don't stop when you tired. You stop when you done. You stop when you complete it, when you execute it. Execution is worship. And so I execute for my mom. I execute for my grandma. I execute for my sister. I execute for those kids in the hood who looking for a role model. That's why I wear the hat with a PhD. That's why I wear the J's. So when the kids in the hood look at me, they say, if E.T. can do it, I can do it. That's why I can't quit and give up, even though I get tired just like everybody else. Why? Because this is what I do. This is my lane. This is your lane. You gotta murder it. So when I ask you, you got energy, don't play with me. When I say again, you got that energy for the next 100 days, I need to feel your soul in this room.
Thank you.
All right, I can? Come on, I can? Come on, I can.
Need 6-7. Thank you for
I must.
on the bandana. I think so too.
I will. I must. Come on, give yourself some energy. Come on, give yourself some energy. Crap, we wish you the best. We love you. Do you? 100. Let's get it done.
Get it done. Let's get it done. Now, we have been doing our motivation every single episode. And if I had some hand claps in here right now, I would play the hand claps, but wherever you at, clap it up. You know what I'm saying? We do it every single time. I do it for all the people who can't do it anymore. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. And yes, I do agree. The bandana is nice. It really looked nice. I agree. So we've been doing our motivation every single day. Clap it up. Clap it up. Every time we get in here, we get motivated. Now, what I'm going to do now is we're going to incorporate something that we don't do. We're going to say a short word of prayer from me to you, and then we're going to move forward from now on. So let's just bow our heads, and whoever and however you pray, do that. All right. Dear Lord, we say thank you for this moment. Thank you for future moments. Thank you for the moments you've brought us through. As we go forward, give us as a community the energy to strive forward, the energy to drive forward, the energy to go where it is that you have destined for us. All right. In Jesus' name we pray, amen and amen. All right. And that was the part where you fill in your spot and say what you say at the end of your prayer. All right, let go. Let's do our thing today. So we talking about the fruits of our mind. First of all, let's get some definitions. Let's get some definitions. Okay. Hold on. We're going to go elementary.
I'm an overpowered leaf blower.
Dang, bro. All right, here we go. Let's go.
Taking care of our plants at the fort is one of our favorite things to do. And the best part is, sometimes we get to eat what we grow. We grow lots of plants, including vegetables like lettuce and carrots, and fruits like blueberries and tomatoes. Yeah, you heard me right. According to scientists who study plants called botanists, both blueberries and tomatoes are actually kinds of fruit, even though a lot of people call tomatoes vegetables. But how do we know the difference between fruits and vegetables? It can be tricky, but if we learn a little bit about how plants grow, we can make a pretty good guess. So let's start with how plants start. Seeds. When a young new plant begins to grow from a seed, it pushes its roots deep into the soil and stretches its stem and leaves up towards the sun. Sometimes the roots, stems, leaves, and flower buds of a plant are edible, which means we can eat them safely. And we call all of these edible plant parts, including unopened flowers, roots, stems, and leaves, vegetables. Check out this popular favorite, the carrot. If you look at a carrot as it's growing, you can see its leaves and stem grow above the soil. The part that we usually eat grows down in the ground. That's right, the carrot is a root. And since it's a root that we can eat, it's a vegetable. All right, now what about fruit? The fact is, every fruit starts with a pretty blooming flower. Flowers not only look and smell nice, they also do something really important for the plants that make them. They help plants reproduce. When a living thing reproduces, it makes more of itself. And plants that make flowers reproduce by making seeds. In flowering plants, a seed starts to form in a
y'all know I'm about to dig into this like some good old fruit.
Special part of a flower, which begins to swell as the seed gets bigger. A lot of the time, this part of the plant keeps growing around the seed to protect it. Eventually, the flower falls off, and the swollen part of the plant that's left behind becomes what you and I know as a fruit. So, if it's an edible plant part like a root, stem, leaf, or unopened flower bud, it's a vegetable. If it's part of a flowering plant that has a seed in it, it's a fruit. So, do you think you can guess whether what we're growing in the greenhouse is a fruit or a vegetable?
Yes! Now that I've been educated.
Let's go for it. We'll start with a delicious plant that's super good for you, spinach. What do you think spinach is, a fruit or a vegetable?
A vegetable.
A vegetable is right. Spinach is a leaf. If we take a look at the spinach plant, we can see that it has roots to hold it in the ground and that its leaves are held up by a stem. Good job. How about a cucumber? What do you think, fruit or vegetable? Right, a fruit.
Fruit.
If we look at a cucumber plant, we see it has roots, stems, and leaves, but those aren't the parts we eat. Cucumbers also make flowers.
Yes, I was a little slow.
It's that special part of a flower that becomes the cucumber fruit. If we look inside a cucumber that's been cut, we can see
I'm on my
little
toes
seeds.
for the next one.
Let's try one more. How about green peas? Fruit or vegetable?
Vegetable.
Believe it or not, peas are a fruit.
What?
Pea plants make flowers, and parts of these flowers become the fruit that we call a pea pod. If we eat the peas in the pod, we're actually vegetable. Believe it or not, peas are a fruit. Pea plants make flowers, and parts of these flowers become the fruit that we call a pea pod. If we eat the peas in the pod, we're actually just eating the pea seeds. Now, sometimes it's hard to tell what something is in the supermarket.
Wow.
Sometimes we grow fruits that don't have seeds or have seeds that are too small to see. It can also be tricky to tell if something's a root, stem, or leaf. But it's always fun to see if you can guess what in your shopping cart is a fruit and what's a vegetable.
We gonna
just
have
make
to do
sure
that.
you eat plenty of both.
Thanks
for joining us on SciShow Kids.
Thank you,
Do you have
girl.
a question about a food you love or anything else? Then get help from a grown-up and let us know by leaving a comment down below or by sending us an...
Hey, we subscribing to them. We definitely subscribing to them. Now, we can't save the video, but wow. Let's get a couple shorts real quick. Hold on.
Do you know that dragon fruit becomes tastier if you chill it and more fragrant if you heat it? The thinner the skin, the riper the fruit. It's beneficial to eat dragon fruit every day as it contains antioxidants, and girls can use its juice as a natural lipstick. Do you know that dragon fruit becomes tastier if you chill it?
Have you heard of hybrid fruits? Don't worry, here we explain it to you. Although it sounds strange to you, farmers have managed to create incredible byproducts through cross-pollination, combining 2 or more fruits to produce new crops. But this not only benefits farmers, but also consumers who can enjoy juicier, tastier, and more nutritious fruits.
Don't eat breakfast again before.
All right, that's enough of that. Here we go. Back to what we was doing. We're going to get one more video down here that I had seen, and then we out of here.
There is nothing like playoff basketball
this year.
The intensity is off the charts.
Fruit, fruit, glorious fruit. From cherries to blueberries, pineapples and kiwis, I love eating all kinds of fruit.
Oh man, I want a little bit of taste of
Have you
fruit
ever
right
wondered
now.
why plants produce fruit?
I was this day old when I found out that peas are fruit. Actually, the pea is the seed. I think a good portion of us was too, Zanita 67.
When a
All right,
plant grows flowers, some of them go on to...
Now remember, we going somewhere with this, obviously. It's not just going to stay on the education of the fruit, but it's our base layer. It's our root of our message right now, so stick with it.
Become fruits. The fruit helps to protect the plant seeds. Some fruits, like an avocado, have one big seed inside. Other fruits, like pomegranates, have lots of little seeds inside. Strawberries have their seeds on the outside of the fruit. Can you see them?
I'm trying to label everything now.
Animals often eat fruits. This can help to move the seeds to new places. In its new place, a seed can grow into a new plant. A quick joke before I go. Why did the banana go to the doctors? It wasn't peeling well. See you next time.
I'm sorry the mic is doing that. Oh, man. Eli. Why did the banana go to the doctor? Because it wasn't peeling well. Yeah, that's right. Hey, I hope y'all heard that. That's my first dad joke. I'm keeping that in my pocket. That's staying right in my pocket. That one was good. All right, so now let me talk to you for a brief second. Where we going with this is, now that we have a definition of what fruit is, we revisit our message. The fruit of the mind, the fruit of your mind. All right? So now that we have a definition of what fruit is, we looking for the fruit of our mind now. Okay? And it should be kind of obvious, but let's just type the end of that in. Let's watch a video on it. I don't want to talk about it. I'm going to let you watch the video. What is fruit of the mind? Let's go ahead and go back in. They better give me the good message. I can't talk it. Oh my gosh. See, they ain't got it. YouTube ain't got it. Hold on. Let's take what is off of there and put it on there. Fruit of the mind. Okay, hold on. All right, we're going to listen to 30 seconds of this then.
Don't compare the side to do with the time that you are given today. You will never ruin a role if you play yourself. Don't compare the behind the scenes of your life to someone else's highlight reel. Just because you miss someone doesn't mean you need them back in your life. Missing is a part of getting over. First, you choose a partner on the basis of their looks and enjoy until you realize that your kids will not be raised by their looks, but by their values.
Jeez. One more, two more.
You cannot have everything. You always exchange something for something.
$300,000. That's...
Well, one more. Well, we only got one more. All right, so now, like I said, it should be obvious what the fruit of the mind is. But if it's not, since it's my show, I'm going to say what it is. It's your ideas. Now, every idea won't come to full flavor, full fruition, you know what I'm saying? But there is an intent behind each idea. And that intent is kind of like, I don't got no metal right now, but it's kind of like the spark. And the idea is into the flame that, you know, manifests and, you know, creates and da-da-da-da. So the fruit of your mind is your ideas. And, you know, behind that idea is that spark that creates the flame and lights your way, and so to speak, and all of that good stuff. Anyway, but since they didn't have it, I had to say what it was. But let's see. I saw something else in there. The fruit of the soul. Fruit of the soul. Let's see what they talking about.
Show me an individual who is a healthy capture of the fruit of the Spirit. I show you a man who will be desired the same way you desire Jesus.
Yes, Lord.
Same way you desire Jesus. And it doesn't matter whether you are a preacher. Are we together now? It doesn't matter whoever you are. He says, come and learn of me. Can you be somebody who is loving? Can you be somebody who is kind? Can you be somebody who is gentle? With all due respect for some of you, I'm describing a foreigner because it's not you at all. As I say gentle, you are wondering, kind, you are wondering, loving, patient. You are none of this. Welcome to church. This is where you will open up your heart and say, God, walk upon my heart. Show me an individual who is a healthy capture of the fruit of...
Okay, so we on Healthy Mental Thursday, right? And the reason why I chose this wording of a topic is because I feel if you can find your worth in yourself, then you reboosted, you rejuvenated. You know what I'm saying? Imagine a hoarder right now, right? Like somebody who can't get rid of things. Okay, that one thing alone brings them a zillion other things. Okay, they can't find true value in that. It's hard to find true value in that. It's hard to even look around in that. Sorry. But my point is this. If they can find any value anywhere, it could distract from or detract from what they have piled up around them. You see what I'm saying? And that's for all of us. So in the midst of whatever you may be going through, if somehow on this episode I can help you find the fruit of it all, then you can feel a little bit better. What about vegetables though? What about vegetables? We found that's the root of the plant that we eating right there. So I'm gonna just type this in there. How to use your mind. Let's see what's given to us. Well, they say clean your mind. Let's see.
So why do I start things and never finish them?
It's all due to something called law of sustainment.
In psychology,
let's go.
A habit is when you've done something so many times that your body now knows how to do it better than your mind. So if you think about it, people wake up in the morning, they begin to think about their problems. Those problems are circuits of memories in the brain. Each one of those memories are connected to people and things at certain times and places. And if the brain is a record of the past, the moment they start their day, they're already thinking in the past. Each one of those memories has an emotion. Emotions are the end product of past experiences. So the moment they recall those memories of their problems, they all of a sudden feel unhappy, they feel sad, they feel pain. Now, how you think and how you feel creates your state of being. So the person's entire state of being when they start their day is in the past. So what does that mean? The familiar past will sooner or later be predictable future. So if you believe that your thoughts have something to do with your destiny, and you can't think greater than how you feel, or feelings have become the means of thinking, by very definition of emotions, you're thinking in the past. And for the most part, you're going to keep creating the same life. So then people grab their cell phone, they check their WhatsApp, they check their text, they check their emails, they check Facebook, they take a picture of their feet, they post it on Facebook, they tweet something, they do Instagram, they check the news, and now they feel really connected to everything that's known in their life. And then they go through a series of routine behaviors. They get out of bed on the same side, they go to the toilet, they get a cup of coffee, they take a shower, they get dressed, they drive to work the same way, they do the same things, they see the same people, they push the same emotional buttons, and that becomes the routine, and it becomes like a program. So now they've lost their free will to a program.
Becoming what? Slaves to this system like everybody else. We need mountains, we need dirt, we need air.
And there's no unseen hand doing it to them. So when it comes time to change, the redundancy of that cycle becomes a subconscious program. So now 95% of who we are by the time we're 35 years old is a memorized set of behaviors, emotional reactions, unconscious habits, hardwired attitudes, beliefs, and perceptions that function like a
That just hit me hard. I'm 35.
computer program. So then a person can say with their 5% of their conscious mind, I want to be healthy, I want to be happy, I want to be free. But the body's on a whole different program. So then how do you begin to make those changes? Well, you have to get beyond the analytical mind, because what separates the conscious mind from the subconscious mind is the analytical mind. So most people then wait for crisis or trauma or disease or diagnosis. You know, they wait for loss, some tragedy to make up their mind to change. And my message is, why wait? And that's where meditation comes in, because you can teach people through practice how to change their brainwaves, slow them down. And when they do that properly, they do enter the operating system where they can begin to make some really important changes. And then I think the hardest part is to teach our body emotionally what the future will feel like ahead of the actual experience. Your body is your unconscious mind. In a sense, if you're sitting down and you start thinking about some future worst case scenario that you're conjuring up in your mind, and you begin to feel the emotion of that event, your body doesn't know the difference between the event that's taking place in your world, outer world, and what you're creating by emotion or thought alone. So most people then, they're constantly reaffirming their emotional states. So when it comes time to give up that emotion, they can say, I really want to do it, but really the body is stronger than the mind because it's been conditioned that way. So the servant now has become the master. And the person all of a sudden, once they step into that unknown, they'd rather feel guilt and suffering because at least they can predict it. Being in the unknown is a scary place for most people because the unknown is uncertain. People say to me, well, I can't predict my future. I'm in the unknown, and I always say the best way to predict your future is to create it. Not from the known, but from the unknown. What thoughts do you want to fire and wire in your brain? Yes, sir. What behaviors do you want to demonstrate in one day? The act of rehearsing them mentally, closing your eyes, and rehearsing the action. If you're truly present, the brain does not know the difference between what you're imaging and what you're experiencing in 3D world. So then you begin to install the neurological hardware in your brain to look like the event has already occurred. Now, your brain is no longer a record of the past. Now it's a map to the future. And if you keep doing it, priming it that way, the hardware becomes a software program. And who knows, you just may start acting like a happy person.
Whoa! Hey, my man said look happy than a mug on that last little piece. Yes, sir, Dr. Joe. Hey, so that was Dr. Joe Dispenza. Sorry to drop him in there on you like that. He very powerful, very powerful, very powerful. the reason why I don't speak it is because that's not what we're here for. We're not here to listen to a bunch of Dan necessarily, but we are here to get a message.
I switched from due dates
from
to due
me
dates,
through me
and it made me go
in that way. You have to, if I haven't said it already, on Expansion Pack, you have to address yourself. And what I mean is, just like it says, address yourself, step straight to yourself like yourself. What we gonna do? And if you are unprepared for that, it just looks foreign. It looks like I'm trying to do something that is really not me at all. I'm working on myself as you. All right, so let's take a break. Let's chill. You know what I'm saying? Let's get a little bit of ease for our mind. Doc, well, let's see. Sada, he already's good. Guru on fruit. Let's see what's up. Hold on. We need something shorter than that. There we go.
When we were growing up, the variety of fruits that were there naturally for us to pluck and eat, in every season there is some fruit. I have been in jungles for 2-3 weeks by myself without any outside support. Always there was something to eat. But today I'm telling you, today I walk into the jungle, I will die within 4 or 5 days.
Wow.
Because there's nothing to pluck,
Nothing
and,
to pluck and eat.
So I want you to understand the plight of all the other creatures. The monkeys, they're all invading cities because there is really nothing to eat. So this change has happened in just a matter of 35-40 years. So fruit is an important part of our diet. As far back as Megasthenes when he came, and Yuan Sen when he came, and Kautilya when he wrote his treatise, all three of them have mentioned.
Thanks for stopping
how
through,
in the
Stacy.
Indian diet
You have a great day
there is
today,
an
okay?
unusually large segment of fruit.
I'll see you tomorrow. It's my girl
It
right
seems,
there.
Yuan Sen somewhere says, I have not read it myself.
See you later.
It seems he says that Indian people are unusually intelligent mainly because of their fruit consumption. Their intellect is sharp because of that. And whether he said it or not, I am saying it is 100% true. This much we know, suppose your friend is sick and in a hospital, you go there with what? Biryani, meen kolambu? Fruit. So you know, it definitely works. So you have to get sick to eat the right thing. But if you eat the right thing, maybe you will not get sick. There is substantial studies in the world to clearly show if 30% of our diet becomes fruit, 40% of the healthcare bills in the world will come down. So in India, right now fruit consumption is at 4%.
Wow.
And that too, this 4% is calculated as per capita, but it's only in the elite segment that people are eating fruit. Down below, once a month also is not eating a single fruit.
Right.
Children, through the mango season, they go without eating a single mango because it's no more available. You have to go and buy it, it costs 25 rupees. A child will never get to eat it.
That's now we gotta look at that. We gotta look at that. Then I got somebody who know keep on fruit diet. Look, y'all listen to this.
You see that? Insulin dependent. Doesn't sugar gives you fat though? No, sugar does not give you fat. Sugar stores up in the liver and the liver turns sugar into fat. But again, that's good sugar. It's called glycagon. It stores up in the liver. And what happens is, the reason why it stores up in the liver, for when you need sugar or fuel, what happens is this glycagon that was stored up into fat by the liver turns back into sugar and then gives you ATP. This is a different type of fatty acid and a lipid that I'm talking about. So sugar do not turn into fat. The liver converts sugar into fat and hides it in the liver for it's basically saving and storing energy for whenever you need it. That's what it does. So now that's another misconception too, y'all. So now, the beautiful thing about this though is, in order to get this energy into the cell, you need glucose, because what insulin does, takes the glucose that you get from your meats and that you get from your vegetables, and it takes it to the cellular wall, and insulin penetrates the cellular wall, and it literally drops off these sugars inside of the blood. Well, guess what you don't need insulin for? Whenever you eating your fructose don't need sugar. Fructose don't need insulin. What fructose it goes through a metabolic process that's called cellular infusion. What fructose does is it infuses itself into the cell. It's a big difference. So when you eating fruits, you don't even need the pancreas, because the fruit is going to literally infuse itself into the cell. When you eating vegetables and you eating meat and you eating grains and stuff like that, you need insulin, because that's the only way that it can get glucose into the cell. You see that? There's a big difference. So fructose, you do not need insulin, which means you don't need the pancreas. Glucose, you need the pancreas because you need insulin. If y'all got that so far, type in some
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Wait, I got to eat some more fruit. Hey, man, what up? You learning about fruit and veg? Yeah. Hey, look. Appreciate you, look, QSX_X. Look, that's what we doing right now, because this is good. This is good info right now, because this good info.
Y'all got that so far, type in some nines.
Yes, sir.
So fructose, with fructose sugar, monosaccharides, you do not need insulin. The metabolic process, literally called cellular infusion, is when the fructose sugar infuses itself into the cell. But with glucose, you most definitely need insulin, because insulin takes glucose and it penetrates the Golgi apparatus of the cell, because it fuses itself with cellulose, which surrounds the cellular wall of the cells. There's a big difference. So whenever you eating fruits, you don't need the pancreas. And that's the reason why we healing so many diabetes cases when we put them on all fruit diets, because we give the pancreas a rest, and we can cleanse out all the mucus that's built up inside the pancreas. We can cleanse out all the acids that's built up inside the pancreas, because we don't need to use the pancreas, because we're using fruits.
Hey, I respect
I can bypass the pancreas now, because I don't need
Right. And hold on. Hey, I respect it, man. Fruit is the way for sure. Also, to make it easy, the name's just Lux. All right, bet.
Nor do I need insulin, because fruit don't need either or to make it to the cell, because fructose goes through something called cellular infusion. So you have people that don't know what the hell they be talking about, saying that fruits causes diabetes, fruits raises the blood sugar. No, it don't.
We need some mangoes in. My bad to clap in the mic. We need some mangoes in here right now. We need some bananas in here. I'm craving some apples, grapes, orange, everything.
Now, would it spike it just a little bit for like a couple of hours? The most I seen it spiked it for 2 days. But after that, it regular.
Bro, you already got this knowledge on lock. You finishing bro's sentences. Yeah, but I gotta bring it to everybody who be watching the show. And sometimes I be right there on the edge. I promise you, I be right there on the edge of this knowledge. And I just need little pieces of what is out there to finish it. And I'm gonna say what I'm really trying to say at the end of this video.
Itself, because guess what it don't need? It don't need glycogen, nor do it need insulin to make it inside the cell. They go through something called cellular effusion. Just like the rain in the clouds absorbs rain, and then it makes it rain, your cells do the same thing when it comes to fructose. It absorbs the fruit.
Yes, sir.
The fructose sugar. It absorbs the monosaccharides. It absorbs the disaccharides. It kicks out the polysaccharides. It kicks out the sucrose. And you need insulin for that, because these are heavy, complex sugars. It needs more to make it inside the cell. So what insulin does is penetrate the cells, and then it brings in all the complex sugars in. If you're dealing with simple sugars like monosaccharides and disaccharides, then that can be infused in the cell, and you don't even need the pancreas. So now we can allow the pancreas to actually rest and heal itself, and we can pull out all the acids. We can pull out all that mucosa membrane response from it, and we can allow the pancreas to resurrect itself. Now, another thing we have to talk about too that's very deep, y'all.
Oh, come on, don't go away. He went away. How you gonna go away? How you go away, Yaki? All right, hold up. If people actually think fruit I ain't gonna get too hype. I'm gonna just read it. If people actually think fruit, a natural sugar, is a primary cause of diabetes, they gotta get locked up, bro. That's the exact comment down to the. Yes. 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 Absolutely correct. Now, see me, I'm thinking about it in this light and in this manner. I can eat. Dang, I think I threw the box out. I had some cupcakes down here. I can eat those cupcakes, and it feels like my organs. This is the best way I got to describe it. Feel like my organs are working to process it. But my body wants more, more, more. You ever had a piece of a cake and be like, I'm about to eat this whole thing right here and right now. You see what I'm saying? And that's the message I'm getting from Yaki on this when he's saying the polysaccharides, the monosaccharides in these words, but that's not the vision I'm getting. The vision I'm getting is cupcakes, sugars and cakes and candies, cookies and lollipops. And then your body has to produce the insulin to carry these sugars that are so complex over into your cells. So that goes back into my message to say my body feel like it's working. And then my body goes into shutdown from having to process all of that sugar. Whereas then I get up, and here's my key clue. And I'm going to get to your comment, Lux. This is my key clue to it all right here. He said pancreas. Now, when you're dealing with the pancreas, all I know, the only thing I know is it's pee. You got to pee. Pancreas, you pee. You pee, pancreas could deal with urine in the pancreas and the urine in the urine in the pancreas. Right? So imagine we go back to my original hypotheses of my body got to work. My pancreas is working, and then guess what I do? Not to be TMI, frequent urination. To get rid of what? Them complex sugars and all that bullshit. Excuse me. Now, we're going to get one more message on this fruit thing real quick. Because in conclusion, all I got to do is eat more fruit. All right, hold on. So, the average person, whether they notice it or not, in average food nowadays eats like 20 teaspoons of sugar. Also, I rate that slick ill transition. Even normal groceries that people buy weekly have mad sugar in them. Exactly. And it's not even about just the sugar. It's how complex that sugar is. The processing on that sugar. Whereas the sugar that you getting from the natural grown plant is not processed at all. It's not processed at all. It just grew that way. Come on. It's a no-brainer right now. And I'm not pushing a fruit diet on nobody. What I'm actually doing is saying my black ass is going to eat some fruit all day damn long. You can do what you want to do. All right, now. Fruit and vegetable diet. Hold on, wait. We ain't even going to say diet. I'm going to put what I'm thinking. Fruit and vegetable hack. Let me see something. Let's watch short.
Kitchen hack. For any adult that's running a household, you need to know this. Okay. Fruits and vegetables come sprayed with pesticide. This is how to get rid of it the proper way. Put a couple of teaspoons baking soda with your produce, then put some cold water on them. You have to let it soak in there for a minimum 15 minutes. And look at this, guys. It dramatically cleans all of the pesticides, all of the dirt. You drain them, then you wash them again. You put them in an airtight container. There you go. No more pesticides for your family. Kitchen hack. For any adult that's...
Okay, I already knew that. Anyway, I ain't see the playoff game. You said you hate the Pacers. So I ain't seen the playoffs. But I will say this. Go whatever team you rooting for, Lux. Go them. Go them. Who's the other team? The Pacers and who? Whoever they are, go them. Because I got to wait for the new rotation to come back. Next season, I'm going to watch a little bit more basketball because my sons, they keep cutting it on. And I put it down a little while ago, the NBA and all of that. All right, let's look at something fun real quick because we got about a good solid 15 minutes till I completely go off. But
now you only need one subscription instead
we
of
got a good
multiple
10
AI
minutes
tools.
until
One of my secret
a good 10 minutes until I gotta wind down. So let's go. They gonna get me for these 5-minute crafts, but it's okay. Maybe if I don't play the beat. Okay, if they ain't got nothing better than this, then we skipping this. Ah, that was pretty good. Don't y'all do that already? What you got? Now that's unique. Do y'all do that already? Oh my gosh. All right, we'll stay. Yeah, we'll stay. Do y'all do this? With y'all watermelon, did y'all do that? I was rooting for the Knicks, but Pacers beat them, and now it's OKC. It's 30-second left game. I saw that. That boy on stage. There was no way. Yeah, I saw that highlight. Is this a plum? Ah. Oh no, it's a what? Yo. I hope y'all saw that. I hope y'all saw that. I'm going to show it to you again. Oh my gosh. I'm going to get one of them when I go to the store. Hey, word up. Oh. Oh. Hey, would y'all believe I was going to skip this video? Shame on my hand. What hand is using the mouse? Shame on your hand. All right, not even the first time he hits that BS either. SGA and 38 had 38 points that game too. Listen, they trying to win this year. You feel what I'm saying? Ain't nobody playing. I was gonna skip this video too. So nice. Mom, I hope you just saw this. Now, I don't know exactly what this is. I think this is what, a cherry? Yeah, this is a cherry, but look. Maybe we can somehow get the seeds out the grape like this. Look at that. All right, we're going to do 2 more. Last one. All right. So, today, what have we learned? We learned that the difference between the fruit and the vegetable is the leaf, the root, and all of that, and such and so forth. And the fruit grows on the outside and contains the seeds, and so on and so forth, and whatnot. Eli, keep it down. Now, the fruit of your mind is your ideas. Now, I'm going to help to bring this home for y'all real quick on this Healthy Mental Thursday because we want to keep our mental healthy ideas. What was I gonna put? Cause we coming up on our last few minutes, so fruit of ideas. This should work. Yo, that's the word I'm looking for. Fruit of thinking. There we go. Nope. Yeah. We're just going to leave y'all with this thing, all right? This has been another episode of Expansion Pack. I'm your host, Dan F. Man. I'm going to ride with y'all for another 4 minutes, and then we're going to wind down and get on up out of here for the day. Lux, thank you for stopping through. Huge thank you for stopping through. I'm going to give you a follow back right now. I think you out here on Twitch, so let me go ahead and drop into my Twitch so I can follow you back. Hey, I hope you got something out of this today, man. And you never told me what you said. You never told me what other team, Halliburton, the Pacers. You never told me what team you was going for. I don't know what the other team is. So tell me what the other team is so I can shout them out and cheer for them too as well. All right, hold on. I'm going to follow you back. But this has been another episode of Expansion Pack. I'm your host, Dan F. Man. We're going to listen to some of these quotes.
Letting go is very
hard.
Hard.
Oh, yeah, I'm going for OKC. OKC, okay. Hey, my mans.
With time,
yes, sir.
The more wins with fear you can.
Yes, sir. We going for OKC because they not the Pacers. My mans. I'm going to actually, hey, if you drop in, what's tomorrow, Friday? You drop in tomorrow for Fun Friday, we're going to look at some of what's going on in the playoffs because we just do whatever on Fun Friday. So, Lux, drop in tomorrow, man, and you definitely have an interesting show.
Time to do.
We're going to listen to a couple of these
With
and we up out of here.
The more wins with fear you can accumulate, the more fearless you will become.
I don't know about that one.
Never make someone a priority who only makes you an option.
Right.
If you are a friend of everybody, you are an enemy to yourself. You were born with 2 ears and 1 mouth. Use them in that proportion.
Yes, sir.
The biggest thing you need to accept is change.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
You don't only live once. You live multiple lives within one.
Yes, sir.
Life becomes easier and more beautiful when we can see the good in other people. You can cut all the flowers, but you cannot keep spring from coming. Let others' actions speak for them. People will show you far more than they will tell you. Everything that you do, you are creating dots. You can connect those dots in the later part of life and understand why you did what you did.
Right.
Commitment is what gets you started. Consistency is what gets you somewhere. And persistence is what keeps you going.
Exactly.
You can fall in love more than once. You don't need to worry much when someone you love leaves you. Most of the time, it's for the good.
Yes, sir.
If someone is trying to bring you down, it only means you are above them.
Oh, my gosh. Jeez. Jeez, that one was that. A facts.
Trying to bring. If someone is trying to bring you down,
You too, Lux.
it only means
Have a
you
good
are
day.
above them.
Have a great day.
Don't make promises if you have no
Last one.
intention to fulfill them. It might not mean anything to you, but it could mean a whole world to someone else.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right, so this has been another episode of Expansion Pack. I'm your host, Dan F. Man. Thank y'all for being with me, coming through as usual, chilling at. And we're going to go ahead and get up out of here for today. I'm going to leave y'all with another previous episode like usual. And this is DGTA TV. I'm going to see y'all tomorrow. Fun Fridays. Peace. Apparently it's on Fortnite.